Demolition is well underway on the Foothills Stadium, where more than 2 decades ago, more than 7,000 baseball fans once filled the seats to watch the Calgary Cannons play AAA baseball. Now, the owner of that team is saying goodbye to the structure he had a hand in building.
You'd go up to the top row.
It's been 23 years since the Cannons played a game here, but Russ Parker has a long roster of memories from the team's heyday in the 80s and 90s.
In fact, his name was Elmo. Man, he had a sack over his shoulders, and he'd go out after a ball game. Wasn't many foul balls that he didn't have his hands on. I've known for a while that this was going to happen, but then when it happened, or started happening, it's been a tough few days.
The demolition is part of the city's long-term $380 million reimagining project for the Foothills Athletic Park. According to the city, the facility was in a dilapidated condition, a long way from Parker's early involvement in renovations in order to welcome the Calgary Cardinals in 1977, and his efforts to keep the stadium updated and running throughout the Cannons' 17-year stint.
When you look at the pictures from yesteryear, you're like, yeah, this was a happening place.
Joel McFarland co-hosts a podcast dedicated to telling Alberta's baseball stories, including the amount of big-name players in the Cannons lineups over the years.
That first year with Danny Tartable leading all baseball professionally in home runs, and you go through the list, Edgar Martinez went to the Baseball Hall of Fame, right? Tino Martinez, Brett Boone, Omar Vizquel, AJ Burnett.
It kind of felt like a part of my soul was taken from me when I got the news the other day.
Once the Cannons GM, John Traub moved to New Mexico with the team when it left Calgary to become the Albuquerque Isotopes.
It doesn't matter if it's a small town in the middle of nowhere, or if it's a AAA stadium in Calgary, or if it's a Major League Baseball stadium somewhere else. You know, these facilities have a connection with the community because they're just so meaningful. You spend so much time coming to games and seeing the Major League stars of tomorrow.
Teams like the Outlaws and Vipers played at the ballpark in the early 2000s. The UFC Dinos were the most recent users.
I feel for the community. I hope that the city decides something to memorialize the Parker family and the importance of professional baseball up there.
Anyway, that's the end of it.
As for Parker, a member of Alberta's Sports Hall of Fame since 2012, he says this is the last time he'll come to see what's left of the stadium. But it's clear the 50-year baseball legacy he created is something that can't be demolished. Terry Trembath, CBC News, Calgary.